Today in our nice vintage stamps, we're going to visit New Zealand. Now look at this first one. I haven't seen that one at all before. So that's kind of cool to have. 1.5D. Look at that. Kind of unique, isn't it? Beautiful brown. And it says Victory. A very nice stamp. Now the other two on the second row I have seen before. You got your 1/2 in green, and then you got your 1 in green. Now the one with the bird and stuff, I've seen that one with some value on it. Alright, let me take you to the second one. Here's our second group. Now first you have your purple. That's in a 2D. Then in the second row, now this first one, the 1 penny. Now that has a nice value to it. And it has an overprint of official on it. So sometimes when you get that overprint and everything, it brings a little bit more money. We always like to hear that. We always like to see that and to have that. Okay, I'm just being silly. Okay, and then you have your 1.5D in the brown and white. And then in the orange, you have a 2D. Beautiful. But it's that first 1 penny. That's the big money. Okay, a lot more than a penny. Okay. Then here we have our third group. We have another stamp that says official, but that one you see a little more often. And then in the second row, and that's a red and white, with going through a second printing of the black and white portraits on it. Now sometimes when it goes through the second printing, it ends up upside down and, you know, it doesn't get recognized right away and it ends up passing through. If you ever have one that the portrait is upside down from the rest of the writing on the stamp, you have a valuable stamp. Definitely get that one graded and get it to auction. Alright, so now in our second row we have our 1D. Now that one's a good one. And then we have our 3. Now that one has a little value. Kind of neat. It's different. Alright, now let me show you our last one. Our last group right here. Here we are. And we have a 1 penny, all in red and white. Then that second 1 penny says 1D, and then it says 1 penny. Usually you don't see both on one stamp, but this one does. And this one went through a second printing, because first you have your brown and white, and then you have the blue and white portrait. Again, always look to see if the picture in the center matches the writing. If it's upside down, you're lucky. Alright, so that's kind of cool. Then let's go down to that last big one, the 2D. It says 2 pence. Now it was a 1/2D, and it got changed. So sometimes the changing of the value of the stamp is also something to pay attention to. Okay, and of course this is a postage revenue from 1914 to 1919. So that's from the very beginning of time. You know, usually you see the changing of the value, you know, during wartime, you know, because they didn't waste nothing. There was no wasting of papers, but this is 1914 to 1919. If you look in the 2 bottom corners, you have your dates. And to have changed it, that's something else. I guess they were going to get rid of those stamps and everything, so they're just using up what they have. Anyway they have it, because in the old days, nothing was wasted. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. We have plenty of stamps to show you. Alrighty, bye-bye now. Be sure to share.